with the lead. They're getting a little wobbly.
Johnson Chapman rebound. Robbie Ryan for three. She hits it, and we are tied.
Terry's three. Johnny Walker matching up against control. His shot. Bruce score. They score. They tie the game up 2-2.
He drives out for Robbie Ryan. Her three right on the money. This is Taya Hansen for three. Other side of the rim with a pretty reverse.
Wow.
5 seconds to go. Find Hawk. Hawk spins. It rolls off. And Arizona State wins it. Edward pulls off. And buries the block.
Daniels takes his shot for Kirby.
Welcome into Pitchfork Lunch. Yes, I am Michael Caratenuto at Diablo00 on X, artist formerly known as the Twitter. Yes, you know it. And happy Wednesday for Mama. Mike, what day is it? Yep, that's still her favorite commercial with, I don't know. I guess the old school life commercials with, Mikey likes it. May have been her favorite, but that could still be her favorite. But the progressive one with the camel walking through the office, and got to give that to Mama. But anyway, welcome into Pitchfork Lunch. Yes, I am Michael Caratenuto at Diablo00 on X. You can also see the show live on my IG, michael.caratenuto.5. And of course, as you know, subscribe to the YouTube channel, Pitchfork Lunchers. It's at, go to YouTube and then just, go to the channel. It's at M as in Michael, V as in Victory, C as in Cat, 005 at MVC005 on YouTube. And again, all the interviews that you've missed with coaches, players, everyone, and you missed another ASU coach that's an alum yesterday, Petra Party, the women's water polo coach, as they get ready for the postseason, to say the least. As they get ready for the postseason, which is the 26th, the same night as the same day as football spring game, which is a night game. But the water polo team is in Bloomington, Indiana. But if you missed that interview, again, so much knowledge and the talent of this team, and talking about this team and the international flavor to ASU, which of course we love as Sun Devils. Yes, you can see this. Bam, old school. Love this one. Yeah, it's one of those things where, again, a great conversation with her, a lot of fun, and again, just such a great sport. And she's an alum, and another alum coach, and she played, for playing for ASU, obviously being an alum coach, but yes, one of the 8 in the program. So that is just absolutely awesome. But if you missed it, again, go to the YouTube channel at M as in Michael, V as in Victory, C as in Cat 005 at MVC 005 on YouTube and subscribe. So yesterday, yes, doing the show from where I was, the lights were on a timer. It was ghost stories at the end. So if you check that out, if you enjoyed that, awesome. Let me know. Hit me up in the comments. But yeah, Hines Ward, first day of being able to coach yesterday. Obviously, all the I's have to be dotted and the T's crossed and all that good stuff. Hines Ward was on the field, and his first day, like I said, on the field, and Coach Dillingham, and we'll hear from both of them, but we're going to hear from Coach Ward first in a little bit about, obviously getting to know, starting to get to know the guys in his room. Yes, on the team, the other coaches, but the receivers in his room, and that and maybe not so much knowing the plays as of yet, but man, you just hear it in his voice. And yes, for those that aren't Steelers fans, like some out there, but just how he played and like the way Hines Ward played, and like I said, going to Georgia but not being the biggest guy, or the fastest receiver, like he said, or the strongest. But man, when you watch that guy, when you watched him play, like you said, always having to work hard, and people always went back to, yeah, I mean, that man could just get open and obviously, make plays, but his blocking, I mean, that's one thing, yes, people, I know Pitchfork Lunch, you're saying, wow, that's so weird. Somebody that loves defense and feels that, that's the side of the ball that they're the bigger fan of, talking about a receiver blocking. But Hines Ward was the best at that. And he, to me, I mean, in his generation, he was the best at that. Not that other receivers couldn't block. I'm not, going barking down, that tree. But I mean, the way you saw him play, it was just, again, if it's, and if you're another AFC North team fan, whether you're, a Browns fan, a Ravens fan, a Bengals fan, then yes, even if you did appreciate it, chances are those diehards aren't, putting it out there. But just his toughness, the way he played, and the fact, and a lot of you hear it. And, Coach Dillingham, I played his sound on Monday from Saturday night about, sometimes, not all, great players can be coaches. And, and you'll hear, because I did ask him that in that way, because they expect a high level. And, if you're not doing it to what the level they did it at, and I'm not saying that's every coach, but just if they see something, and again, yes, things take work, things take practice, owning a craft, everything. But some coaches see that, or some ex-players that were at that upper echelon level, that were the greats of their generation. And it's tough to translate, because you see somebody like, okay, you say do it this way and you're showing you're working with them, but if they're not, like, that's why, again, some of the greatest, weren't able to coach, but others are. And with Hines Ward, again, and we'll hear from him, you'll hear it, but with Hines Ward, it's one of those things where he can translate that. I mean, he was coaching he coached in the XFL. He was at the University of Central Florida too. So again, it's something you want to do. And Coach Dillingham talked about it being a fit. You'll hear it from Coach Ward as well. But yeah, I mean, it's again, you hear him, and like I said, going from Coach Samples, who obviously the players in the room loved. I mean, on the recruiting trail, he was. Then we had Chris Carbon on the show. I mean, when we had him on talking about that, but talking about recruiting, but Coach Samples, I mean, on the recruiting trail, like was looked at as a, I mean, I don't even want to say a rising star, just a star on the recruiting trail. So you go from Coach Samples to obviously, Coach Ward, and, are you a good person? And Coach Dillingham talked about that. Thing for Coach Ward. So we'll hear from Hines Ward coming up in a teeny bit. Baseball and softball kiddos both had midweek games. ASU's baseball has two. They're taking on Cal State Fullerton on the road. I did remind you of that, not at obviously Phoenix Muni, but softball was taking on Grand Canyon. And if you recall, if you don't, that's all right. That's what I'm here for, man. Going around Sun Devil Nation. But the softball team did beat Grand Canyon 8-2 in a midweek game. I want to say 2 weeks ago. Week ago. The dates roll together. The funness is there. But they beat Grand Canyon 8-2, where again I mentioned they had scored those 8 runs in the first 2 innings, four in the first, 4 in the second, and then held on. Well, not held on, but I mean, Grand Canyon couldn't do much either. So the Devils. Oh, so it was like a month ago. It was March 12th, 2 weeks, whatever. Funness. But yeah, they won 8-2 at Farrington. But then yesterday, and again, they got two big home runs yesterday, but they fall 5-4 to Grand Canyon. And yeah, I mean, Kayla Hall in the first inning hit a solo shot, and then in the bottom of the first, Grand Canyon answered with 3, and then ASU in the top of the fourth got 2 back. And then in the 7th, guess who gets her second dinger of the game? Hall, homer to, well, right field that time, but center field the first time. And unfortunately, I mean, they fall short 5-4. Deb Jones got the Amika Alape that got the start. She went 5 innings, gave up 6 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned. Actually, yeah, Deb Jones started and just struggled a little bit. But then Loppy came in and pitched 5, struck out 1, didn't walk any. But yeah, and again, and you heard Coach Bartlett talk about Grand Canyon before. I mean, they're a very good team, and I mean ASU again at home. The bats in the first two innings got going, but yeah. So now they get set for that team down south. We'll talk a little bit more about the game in a little bit. Baseball wise, by the way, they are taking on Cal State Fullerton. And yeah, coming off dropping 2 or 3 to Utah here at Phoenix Muni, looking for a bounce back performance. And you want to talk about bounce back. And again, like I said, pitching has shown, yes, they're down to their Friday starter, but man, you see there are certain guys get in the bullpen. I mean, there's been spots of the bullpen that guys have just come in and are in such a groove that they're crushing it and dominating. And last night against Fullerton, they won 3-1 and 13 strikeouts from Wyatt Halverson, who's 1-2 on the season now, but 13 Ks. I mean, it was scoreless through 3. Well, we'll get to that in a second, but 13 Ks. He started the game, pitched 5 innings, gave up 3 hits, 13 strikeouts, no walks. Now, that's what Willie's talking about. I mean, putting it all together. Yes, they did. You can't just say they only scored 3 runs. Well, 3 runs won the game. So they won the game. But 5 innings, like I said, 3 hits, no runs, no earned, 13 Ks, 1 walk. He hit 1 batter, but he threw 77 pitches. Not bad at all. And then Sean Fitzpatrick came in, pitched a third of an inning, gave up 2 hits, 1 run. It was earned, and a walk. And then Jonah Giblin, who again, and Fitzpatrick said this all to Jonah Giblin, who has been crushing it overall, went 2 2/3, gave up 1 hit, no runs, 4 strikeouts to no walks. He threw 37 pitches. Fitzpatrick for that threw 17, and then Jaden Alba finished it off. He went 1 inning, zeros across the board, no hits, no runs, no strikeouts, no walks, but again, 15 pitches, and they get that. But let that 13 Ks and no walks. And yes, he did give up, again, I'm not saying in a low tone like, oh, he gave up 3, but yeah, only 3 hits. I mean, for a Fullerton team that that had 6 hits, but only mustered up 1 run. ASU had 3 in the top of the 4th. Hey, Kean Vu homered. That's weird. To right field with Kevin. Hey, this time Kevin Karstetter was on base, so at least it was a 2-run jack. And then but yeah, I mean, it's again, 7 hits offensively in Fullerton throughout the years. They're a little down this year as well. I mean, they're 12-21, but the Devils improved to 17-20, and they take them on again tonight at 6 p.m. again at Fullerton. It'll be on the radio, AM 1060, for those of you that want to check it out. But I'll remind you again before we go. So the Devils 17-20 overall, 7-11 in conference play, 12-11 at home. 5-8 now on the road, looking to improve that to 6-8. So again, can be helpful. But yeah, this baseball team again for Willie Bloomquist, like it's like I said. I mean, we've heard him post game. I mean, his passion, frustration at times. I mean, yeah, there's certain things you can say, and as fans hear it, and it can only ring so far, but. Man, this pit, the hitting, and again, yes, there's pitchers across, and I'm not the one. I will not talk out of both sides of my mouth like a lot of people, because when it comes to sports, and we're all guilty of it, and have been guilty of it, but I make an effort to, yes, can two things be right in a situation? Sure. Can two things be wrong? Sure. Can that apply to sports? At times. But there's somebody across from you that's obviously pretty darn good, or they wouldn't be where they're at. Now, yes, are some, pitching staffs and teams better than others? As we know, yes. As a group, starting pitchers, bullpens, yes. When you start to get nicked up, how can you be? But for a lot of people, and I have gotten the question, and I mean, Coach Bloomquist has addressed it too, like, those guys that have been just crushing it in the bullpen, or when they've had bullpen games, moving him into a starter. Well, it does get back to that old adage, robbing Peter to pay Paul, because, okay, if you put him up front, yeah, say they keep having that outing, but, you're going to use your bullpen, then they're not in that spot, and then something happens. So, yeah, it is a tough balance. And he's not saying that the guys aren't good enough, they couldn't do it. And, with, maybe certain pitchers, guys that have, went extended, had extended relief appearances, like a Jonah Giblin, like a Ryan Schieffer, but, and two examples there, and, Halverson as well. I mean, gets to start 13 Ks against a full, like I said, 12 and 21, but inevitably that's the wonderful, chess match that, coaches always deal, especially in baseball, putting a lineup card together, but thinking of your bullpen, thinking of what you could do. And yeah, I mean, it is frustrating, but it's not for, and when Coach Bloomquist says it, again, it's not just tongue in cheek. It's not for a lack of care, for it mattering, and then, the team caring, and effort. It's just, certain little buttons maybe need to be hit from players, but Kian Vu, again, man, the bat is awake. He's passing that baton to his teammates, trying to do that. So, and it's just crazy, the parallels with baseball and softball, because you lose, softball wise, Coach Bartlett talking about using one of your pitchers, using one of your, solid, outfielders, but just a really good hitter as well. And then, you get a few more nicked up, and then all of a sudden, your bench gets cut short. Yeah, you got to roll out and play. They're not making excuses. Nobody's gonna, like I always say, Coach Dillingham would say, nobody cares. Not that they don't care, but they got their own problems. They're gonna roll out and play, and you got to make those plays. And yeah, some players might be a teeny bit away from being ready, but I know for Coach Bloomquist, for Coach Bartlett, like, the plays need to be made, and when certain players aren't there. So that's the tough part. But like I said, knowing that they're putting the effort in, the care, Kian Vu talks about having fun, having that energy, keeping the energy up, in the dugout. Yeah, you're going to be frustrated as a team, but that's just the other side to it. So, but yes, I'm going to take a break. On the other side, we will hear from new wide receivers head coach Hines Ward, former Pittsburgh Steelers Super Bowl champion, and he did have some comedy to say about that, to piggyback off of Coach Dillingham's comments that I played from Saturday night. So we'll step aside, and we'll hear from Coach Ward on the other side as Pitchfork Ranch rolls on. All right, we are back here on Pitchfork Lunch. Yes, it is the middle of the week. It is Wednesday, aka Hump Day, here, and yeah, we're just rolling on again. If you missed any of the shows, you can check me out live on X at Diablo00, the artist formerly known as Twitter as well. My IG, Michael.Caratino.5. Also, again, the YouTube guys. If you missed yesterday's interview with the women's water polo head coach, ASU alum, and just has a program rocking 22-7 this year. And now they get ready for the postseason, and they'll be in Bloomington, Indiana for the conference championships on the 26th. So that is when they be rolling. So, but go to the YouTube again. It's at M as in Michael, V as in Victory, C as in Cat 005, and subscribe again. Share it, send it on, have people subscribe because you want to come around Sun Devil country. Tomorrow, by the way, is the 150th episode, and I got a awesome interview lined up. It is phenomenal. It'll be out. It's tomorrow. It's happening. And guess what? You're not going to want to miss it. You're not going to want to miss it live. It's going to be awesome. For the 150th episode. So very, 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 very stoked for that. As I am for all the interviews, but the 150th episode. So, but yeah, like I said, I mean, Hines Ward before, the man we all know played in the NFL, won Super Bowls. Played in the NFL, won Super Bowls. And had a hell of a career. And you guys, we know this. Like, he had a phenomenal career, and like I said, was one of the best blocking receivers. And yeah, could catch the ball, make plays. Hell, against the Seahawks that year, he threw for a touchdown. I think, didn't he throw for a touchdown in the Super Bowl? Again, when they beat the Seahawks that year, and I know Cardinals fans, local fans, like I said, there's more piggyback humor off of what Coach Dillingham said on Saturday night. But nonetheless, but yeah, look, very excited for what he can do, what he can bring, to the team. So yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where it's again, it's exciting. It's exciting, but like, again, it's just, it's going to be very advantageous. Pardon me. Say that 10 times fast, right? Not that hard of a word. Think I went to that school down south or something. My goodness. Anyway, but without further ado, let's get to it. Here is new Sun Devil wide receivers coach Hines Ward.
Yes.
How'd this decision come about for you?
You know what, man? I was sitting at home on the couch, debating if I wanted to continue coaching and stuff. My wife, of course, wanted me to sit at home and be with her and watch the Kardashians all day. But, no, man, I mean, just out of the blue, I get a call from Coach Kenny and asked me if I was interested in a wide receiver job. And, I related to my wife, and thank God it was Phoenix. She said, hey, that might be something. And I'm a firm believer, man. God dropped this opportunity in my laps for a reason. So I love coaching. I love helping young men. That's really my blessing to these guys. God wanted me to continue to touch young men's lives, and not just making them football players, but men in life. So came out. I love Coach Kenny, what his enthusiasm, his direction of where he wants this program to go, and I said, shoot, sign me up. And, came out here today. Was a good test. It's for me to get to know what type of players that I have, especially at the wide receiver position. Wanted to see who can do hard, who quits and who's out of shape. So a big day for me to learn who I have in my room, but super excited. I love the people in Phoenix, Arizona. I apologize for us beating the Cardinals years ago, so don't take that against me. But I enjoy being here at Arizona State. Looking forward to meeting all the guys, and really, I want to be a blessing to these guys. Any advice that I can give them, because I've been where they wanted to go. I don't want them to make the same mistakes that I made. So it's a chance for me to give back and to help young guys be able to achieve their dreams. And everybody's not going to go to the pros, but they have to understand that there's more to life than football. So I get it. They love the game. Play as long as you possibly can. But at the end of the day, it's not just about football. It's about the man that I'm trying to improve. My big motto is get 1% better each and every day. And if we do that, then by the end of the year, we'll be 365% better as men. So that's my motto.
Heinz, what's the process like of actually learning the players that you're working with?
It's a lot different than pros, I tell you. Just with these kids, man, it's more than just the X's and O's. Some of these kids come from broken backgrounds, broken homes. You have to deal with student academics and things like that. So it's going to be a learning curve. I did a year at Florida Atlantic, which was great experience. So I don't feel like a fish out of water being here, talking to recruits here in the state of Arizona. That's a part of being a college coach, but I just love it. I love being a part of the staff. Coach Kenny's an amazing man, and for me, he's one of the good guys, and so I enjoy working with the good guys. And my challenge is to turn this whole thing around. I want one of our receivers to be all Big 12. That's my goal. We have some talent, but I just think they've never been pushed before. So I'm gonna push them to really find out, who I got on the team and who I can trust in the game and stuff. So the season is not here yet, so it's still a learning curve for me. But it's a great opportunity to get to know these guys during spring football and see what I'm working with.
You said you didn't want these guys to make the same mistakes you made, but your mistakes turned out pretty well.
Listen, man, a lot of trials and tribulations, trust me, man. But and I talk to the guys not just about X's and O's, just about life. I just want to prepare them. And in life, you're going to have some adversity. I think playing football, some days are going to go good, some days are going to go bad. So it's how you respond. It's how you bounce back. So that's what I'm excited about. Walking into that room, you see the guys, the excitement, they're all their eyes kind of lit up and they sat up straight. So the respect factor is there. It's just my job to continue to push them and bring out the best, because it's all about developing players. And I think as a football player, I had a lot of rookies come into my time, and they went on to get nice paydays and had a long career. So coaching's in my blood. It's just a matter of the time consuming. Going recruiting and doing that, I had to get the okay by the missus. So she was on board, so that's the reason I'm here.
And Coach, you talk about obviously developing players, and a lot of times, great players it might be tough for the coach because you see the driving players, but they're not maybe doing it the same way you did. But with your experience so far coaching, how did playing help you transition into coaching and knowing you wanted to do it?
Listen, I wasn't the biggest, the fastest. I had to work my tail off for everything that I got. There was nothing ever given to me. I wasn't a first-round pick, so I just teach from experience. Come in, I put my head down, I grind each and every day. When I come out here, I work on my craft each and every day. So, the good thing about me being a receiver coach here, I'm not telling these guys anything that I didn't do as a player. So I'm just telling these guys the same thing. And like I said, nothing was given to me. For me to play 14 years in the league, I was the last receiver in my draft class to play. I played everyone. That's a testament of my hard work, of me continuing to get better each and every day, working on my craft. And that's what I'm going to do and instill in the wideouts here at ASU. So looking forward to the challenge, but I love it each and every day. I want these guys to be 365% better come this time next year. And I think we're on the right path to doing that.
Coach, outside of your coaching,
and you heard it right there. I mean, the 365% better, get 1% better every day, and it builds up. And and like he said, that's why I asked him that, he's last receiver taken, but 14 years in the league, we all know you're not lasting 14 years in the league, especially at that position. If you're not delivering, like I said, he was the best blocking receiver that I saw in my lifetime. So no disrespect to any other receivers that may have been, but man, just the way he got up into guys. And I mean, the Steelers wanted to run the ball and the way he did it. Oh man, this is why we love him. Oh yeah. Look, there's not much to add to that. There's the truth. Below. I mean, you said, Ripple and recruit. I mean, yeah. I mean, I think players obviously, they see the name, and it's funny because Bobby Hurley's talked about that. And granted, I mean, obviously Bobby Hurley played, his college playing career, and then a little bit into the pros was a little bit earlier than Hines Ward. But that being said, like, yeah, I mean, they'll look stuff up. They're going to listen. And, if they know you've done it, to his message right there, like, he had to work harder. And yeah, I'm not saying you're going to, pass up on, if a top receiver is coming here, at a high school and all the recruiting. And again, that's why we talked to Chris about that, because like I said, I understand it. I keep up with it, but this receiver's a 3-star. This receiver's a 4-star. Well, I don't know. I mean, it's a lot goes into that, but you're not going to pass up, on that 4-star receiver to take, someone like, he sees that might be like him, but you're also not going to turn away, a walk-on. Like, yeah, they're going to have a different road. They're going to maybe have a little bit of a longer road, but it can be done. And to his answer right there, I mean, that's the message. You improve, see what you got, like you said, see who's out of shape. And, with not really knowing a ton of plays, that's, yes, he's getting immersed in it, but, recruiting wise, oh, hell yeah, low tone. I mean, I think, and Coach Samples was phenomenal. So you're not going to say, it is a bummer of a loss. And, Coach Dillingham has, addressed it, but it's not a surprise that Coach Samples is rising in that way. And I mean, he wants to be, a head coach. And if, that's a goal of his, and with Coach Samples, obviously don't see it not coming. Let's put it that way. Love Coach Samples every time, I was around him. So maybe after the spring, see if we can reach out, since he was in Sun Devil country and said, didn't go to that school down South. We hope maybe we get him on. Maybe we get him on. We'll see. Was efforting that after spring ball, but he decided, how to take a big opportunity. So, I guess, we can't blame him there. But, for Coach Ward, yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's always going to be, but, what are you going to, how can you develop these kids? And when he says things, and like Coach Dillingham has said, you're going to be straight up with them, but it's going to take work, man. You're going to compete. Yeah, you're going to have an opportunity to get on the field. When you get on the field, you got to make the most of it, even if that is blocking, even if that is being a decoy, as a receiver, going, running something, knowing that you're you're not going to get the ball, but not, hesitating off the line or releasing slower, getting to a block, half a step late, anything like that. I'm not saying that that's what they do, but again, it's that message that he can send, because it will ring extremely loud with players when they know you've done it, when they know you care, like Coach Brian Ward talked, but even quarter, we have Brian Ward on, knowing you care, and obviously you're bought in and invested. Well, yeah, they're going to work hard because they want to get to a level, but are they fully going to trust you? And that's when the winning and the championships come to fruition, because of that trust, which starts obviously in college on the recruiting trail. Are you going to tell the truth? Are you going to be transparent? But are you going to tell the truth? But are you going to do you live up to your word of that? Because if they think you're just saying it, wink, wink, like, it's got to be, how is that message delivered? And, look, with Hines Ward, I look forward to getting to talk to him more. And, seeing what he does with the receivers, just working with them. But a little bit I saw yesterday, actually, I think I have, well, this is the one I found, but I'll just show you real quick before we we hear from Coach Dillingham from yesterday. But yeah, I mean, look, already, I mean, like in between drills, like just things that he sees and working. And when I think I have some stuff from just him talking. I know it's not like the most exciting video,
Right.
but getting to know his guy in the right spot, and little things like that. But I have more from that's in the huddle again with these guys. So it's like I said, it's awesome because he and there's a few I thought I had. Oh, wait. Oh yeah, this one. This one from yesterday. This is again, you talk about jumping right in, right? So that is, to me, is the one thing where Coach Ward, I mean, definitely Hines Ward. I know now we have two Coach Wards, one on offense, one on defense. But yeah, I mean, jumping in right away, doing the drills. And look, I mean, this is him from yesterday. His first day of coaching. Not him what to do. And that's it's those coaching mode, the little things. Because if you're not blocking right, not doing it, in a certain way, a guy that did it at that level, can definitely can be a very good teacher, translator of what you should be doing. But yeah, so I mean, it's again one of those things. But yes, I did promise you also. Let's get Coach Dillingham from yesterday as well, because again, it's just coming off the weekend and everything. He coming off Saturday and everything. I mean, he had look, this seems to be. Oh, and he also did mention there were some questions about, the I want to say the depth chart, but yeah, we'll but yeah, no, Coach Dillingham, he'll talk about that. But here's Coach from yesterday after practice.
Hey, good work. Back and forth again. That's the one thing you notice right now is it's back and forth, and that's what you want. Often goes a little drive and get inside the 10, and we run mesh, and the linebacker goes underneath the call, pick six. Freaking really good football play by Tate.
Coach, what are the biggest things that Coach Arroyo brings to your offense now and going forward?
I think just the detail and the intensity that he brings every day. He's very detail oriented, and then his just intensity level is phenomenal. Every day he's the exact same, flying around the field, barking orders, getting guys lined up, changing calls, has passion, and just love to see it.
Kenny, we didn't get a chance to be here Saturday. Could you just mention the hiring of Hines Ward and why he was the guy?
Yeah, I mean, unbelievable person. One, when you walk into our meeting room, there's three things on the board: be a good person, make good decisions, and have more fun working harder than anybody in the country. And when you meet him and talk to him, he's a great person, right? And he's made good decisions his entire life. And then he loves the game. I mean, I asked him why he wanted to be here, and I alluded to this, and he said, it's because I want to prove to people I can be the best at it. He still has that drive to prove people wrong, which made him great as a player. And you see him out there today, he's running around, he's got energy. He doesn't know one play. He knows it, but he's going to coach the energy, the effort, the passion. He's going to coach the person. And in college football, coaching the person is just as important as coaching the scheme.
Did he reach out to you, or did you reach out to him?
I reached out to him. So Matt Butterfield, chief of staff, him and they worked together for a little bit in the XFL, and he just raved about how the players respected him, about his knowledge of the game and about his leadership and then who he was. So I said, you know what, we should reach out to this guy and see if it's a fit. And I didn't know if it was going to be a fit at first. That really wasn't the direction I was thinking of. But when we talked to 6 guys, and when you leave a conversation with him, you feel empowered, you feel better. So not only is that impactful for the player, that's going to be impactful in recruiting, that's going to be impactful in the program.
How did you see Jordan handle that injury time period and kind of use that as a mental growth state to help him now have this explosive spurt?
Yeah, he's just putting the work every single day. Work, good mindset. Jordan's an elite competitor. We go, like I said, we compete in things probably every day. I compete versus him in something. Whether it's ping pong, which he's beat me 0 times, you can put that on the record. But he competes. He wants to play again. And then again. And then I got to leave. I can't be down here now, right? But that's who he is. He wants to compete. And if he loses, do it again. Then he'll come to me the next time I've been practicing. I want to play again. Yeah, I still beat you, okay? Then you play again. Still beat you, okay? Come back again. And those are the guys that you want on the field. You want guys obsessed with competition, obsessed with being the best. And I think that's something that he has in him, is he's obsessed with that. And I think you see the growth.
Coach, this was practice 10. How are you doing health-wise?
I'm phenomenal.
Not you, the team.
Oh. I feel great. My knee's great. I'm moving around. The team, so Maxie Hanachor is out for the remainder of spring. A shoulder issue, which he'll be fine for the season, but he's out the remainder of spring. Cooper, which was reported yesterday, he had a knee injury. He's going to be out for the year. And then you see Badger and X coming back. So we're getting guys. Stat went out today. We'll find out what that is. But, knock on wood, we're fairly healthy. We've stayed fairly healthy for a much more physical spring ball, I would say. Like, our guys are practicing harder. Our average work day is about 12% harder than it was last year at this time. If you had the metrics, but it's the exact same practice length and the exact same schedule. So it just shows the effort level is higher, which is a good sign of direction. But we are staying fairly healthy. So knock on wood.
What does that injury mean for Cooper, and how does that affect you guys and moving forward?
It sucks, man. I mean, that's a guy who's been injured a lot in his career, unfortunately, but he's a local dude who battles. The team loves, they respect. They call him, Grandpa, because he's been around so long, but it's just that level of respect they have for him. And he was playing well. We moved him outside the edge to try to keep him healthier, out of the mess a little bit, put him on the defense at 5 technique, 7 technique. Things happen. So hopefully we'll make a decision on what his future holds. But I want to keep him around the program as much as possible.
And there he is. See it, Coach Dillingham. I mean, it does suck about Anthony Cooper. Obviously, when it was reported, I didn't realize. I saw the injury, but I missed it. But that he'd be out for the season. So that is quite a bummer. But Max on the offensive line again, definitely want him back. But like Coach said right there, he'll be rolling in. And then X and Elijah Badger, both on offense, have done a job. And as for Hines Ward, everybody's got to go to the boss, right? No, but yeah, Coach Dillingham saying that there. And I mean, with Jordan Tyson, man, he had, and again, we can't film 11 on 11, which again, I don't want to, because why put stuff out there this day and age to give opponents even earlier earlier preparation for, right? Well, even if it's the Devils, we'll get them. Sparky will get them. But nonetheless, there was a catch yesterday. Oh my goodness, that Jordan Tyson brought in, and whoo, yeah, you can just tell the explosive freshman year he had at Colorado. Pitchfork Lunchers, go look it up. If you have time, again, it's not, but I'm saying if you just happen to be, cruising, surfing, go look at Jordan Tyson's freshman year highlights. And I mean, not just because they're highlights. I mean, it'll be a long highlight reel, believe me. And then last year, again, injured, bummed, I couldn't see it, but talked to him earlier in camp. He's just one of those guys that that gets it. Or that, it gets it, yes, but the road. And I mean, yeah, the frustration with, being injured and wanting to obviously contribute more, but man, this young man's looking good. And then again, you have, an Elijah Badger back, Xavier Guillory, Trey O'Meary, like I've been talking about him. I've shown you pictures in one-on-ones and all that in, the main events. And this is, that was from, Raleek Brown. Little, this is funny. This is the awesome part about the main events. I got to show you this real quick. Because from the main events, it's one of those things where, it'll switch it up. Won't just always be, a receiver going against DB. Like I've told you before, it could be a DB playing offense and the receiver, like I say here, playing defense. So that's the one thing. But yeah, this is cool because Raleek Brown, the transfer, obviously from came in through the portal through USC, I think, because Clayton Smith had a heck of a catch, and obviously he's got the height advantage on Raleek Brown. But yeah, here it is. I'll let you enjoy it. May have been a little push in there. I don't know if you heard me, but Raleek Brown and celebrate with him going off there. But Raleek Brown is, covering Clayton Smith, who had that sick catch earlier in the spring, a few practices ago on there. But it's doing stuff like that. I love Coach Dillingham doing that. But yeah, no, I mean, the health of the team, like you talked about, does suck about Anthony Cooper. And just such again, but like you said, overall healthy. And Saturday night, it was a depth chart thing. He said he's going to, they're mixing and matching the spring ball. And as they should, because you want to see what guys compete next to each other, what guys step up. You see how, they play together. And yeah, you're getting them more than, it's not just one rep, somebody else in, series together. And then you'll, mix it up different. One group one day in the series, and then the next group it'll be, it's that. So that I absolutely love. But yeah, I'm going to take a quick break. Then I'll come back and wrap it up. Again, talking about a little bit of baseball, what they have tonight again with Cal State Fullerton winning last night. See if they can get, win 2 in a row, get it going before they take on UCLA this weekend. As well. So take a quick break and come back and wrap it up on the other side here on Pitchfork Lunch. And we are back here on Pitchfork Lunch. Yes, I am Michael Caratino at Diablo00 on X. Catch it here every day. Catch Pitchfork Lunch live every day, Monday through Friday, 12 to 1. Tomorrow is episode 150 since I finally started this show. But it was, like I said, it was a labor of love and bouncing around for a while. But episode 150 and as a little pre-150. I like this. Appreciate it. Thanks, Low Tone. Yes, it is a party. We have an awesome interview set up. They've all been awesome because you've got to know a lot of coaches and see it from different sides. It's not just, yes, it's about their sport and things, X's and O's, but, as people. And it's going to be a fun conversation tomorrow. I hope you don't miss it. Again, we'll get rolling at 12 o'clock from 12 to 1. We shall get rolling. And, a little bit in. I'm going to have an awesome guest. So it's a Sun Devil. So hence, money. And then it becomes phenomenal because it is a Sun Devil guest here on Pitchfork Lunch. But baseball, Cal State Fullerton, as they won yesterday, 3-1. Ryan Campos actually didn't get walked. He was 1 for 4. Nick McClain was 1 for 4. Tobias was 0 for 3, but he did get walked. Carstetter 1 for 4 as well. Kian Vu 1 for 3, had the home run. He also drew a walk. Mario DeMiro was 0 for 3. Brandon Compton, he pinch hit. He was 0 for 1. Isaiah Jackson was back in center field 1 for 4 last night. Trey Newman was 1 for 3 with a walk. Andina was 1 for 3 as well. But Wyatt Halverson, man, 13 Ks, no walks. Phenomenal performance last night. Like I said, Devils got on the board first 3 innings. Neither team get on the board. Well, obviously Halverson just says, okay, come, just get in the batter's box. So let me deal with you. Let's just get you over with. And like I said, in 5 innings, 13 Ks. Whew, man. Yeah, 5 innings, you figure that's 15 Well, he gave up. Wait, how many hits? Sorry. He gave up 3 hits, but so you figure he gave up 3 hits. So in 5 innings, minimum he faced 15. So he faced 18 batters and struck out 13 of them. Yeah. Okay. To overstate the obvious numbers, people, I got to explain it for the, people down south that don't want to admit they watch the show, Low Tone. But you'll take 13 out of 18, 13 strikeouts out of 18 batters faced, right? So anyway, but but yeah, no, look, that's a for Halverson, you can build on that. So, and yeah, they weren't scoring, but neither was Cal State Fullerton. ASU gets 3. That's it. It was over after that. Cal State Fullerton, again, mustered up 1 run in the 6th, but that's a performance where, ASU it's been a roller coaster at the plate, right? Coach Bloomquist has talked about it. But if another team's like that, your pitching's got to chew it up, and they absolutely did. So they again, and they have them again tonight at 6:30, right? 6 p.m. Sorry. See, me and times. 6 p.m. They have Fullerton tonight, and see if they can get the sweep, 2-game sweep on the road, because then they head to LA this weekend, and they take on the Bruins again. Last time it's Pac-12 mates, so or Pac-12 foes, I should say. They're not really friends. Pac-12 foes. And then they come home for USC. Then they come home for quite a few home games because, look, on April 26th, they come home for USC. That's Youth Baseball Weekend, the 26th or 28th. In the midweek, they have the 30th and the 1st. They have UC San Diego coming to Phoenix Muni. Then after that, the weekend series, they have UW who comes down here to Phoenix Muni as well. And then they host a midweek game, which is not a conference game, but the 2 teams did it last year. A midweek game against that team down south. May 7th. Mark your calendars. Get out there. Do not let any of those kind of fans with their ugly school colors have a chance to sit in that in Phoenix Muni at the home of the Devils. May 7th. Write it down. Jot it down. Everything. They are home. So, yeah, they are home from the 26th through May 7th. And then they go to Stanford for their last conference series of the regular season, the 10th, 11th, and 12th of May. And then they have the bye weekend was their last. So, I mean, inevitably, you think about it. And if you're, there's two sides to it. And I love that. First of all, let me just state, I love that they're playing, 3 games against 2 different teams. But you could think of it like, oh, okay, it's right before the Pac-12 tournament. Let's not maybe schedule 1 game on, Friday. Schedule a game on Friday, and then you have Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and then you play on Tuesday, right? But, when it as their rotation, which they knew obviously before they were setting their schedule for conference bye weekend, was the last weekend. But the Devils, May 16th, they'll end at home. They have May 16th and 17th, they take on Texas Tech Thursday, Friday at 6:30. And then Saturday, UNLV comes here because they played at UNLV, remember, after they played at Oregon State last month, and they won that 10-9. So UNLV returning the favor, coming here to Phoenix Muni, or well, I shouldn't say returning the favor, but that's how they scheduled it. So, but 2 against Texas Tech, future obviously conference mates, and then 1 against UNLV. So, and then the Pac-12 tournament is going to be at Scottsdale Stadium, May 21st through 25th. So just so you know, but that's what ASU has. So again, they're home from April 26th all the way to May 7th. And yeah, granted, games aren't every day, but like I'm telling you, they're playing. And then they go to Stanford and then close out at home again before the Pac-12 tournament, which is a pseudo home game anyway, because it's about, if you go from campus, it's about, an 8-9 minute ride, but from Phoenix Muni, taking the Batcave way, it's about a 5 minute ride. Well, with no traffic, but with traffic, but it's a very short, skip over to Scottsdale Stadium. So that being said, that's what we have. So I'm going to get out of here. Everybody have a great rest. Oh, that's funny. Big Ten. But yeah, well, at Trojans too. Don't forget the Trojans, Low Tone. They started the ruining, but yes, a lot added to it. So anyway, we're not going to go down that rabbit hole. We're going to keep it on the up and up. But tomorrow, episode 150, 12-1, I will drop a little bit before who the interview is. But again, you're going to want to check it out because it is episode 150. It is Pitchfork Lunch. Have a great rest of your Wednesday, or as my mom will always say to me to this day, which you got to love it, is Mike, what day is it? Yes, it is hump day and it is Wednesday. So enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. I will see you tomorrow, episode 150. Episode 150. And again, just solid interview. So at Diablo00 on X, again, remember you can watch the show live there every day. The artist formerly known as Twitter, my IG, michael.carrotenudo.5. And guys, go to the YouTube channel. If you've missed any interviews, if you're unable to check it out live, again, I get it, schedules, but enjoy lunch with me, hang out. I said this in the beginning and I've sprinkled it in. I haven't said it enough lately, but, reschedule your lunch break, no meetings from, 12 to 1 and go from there. So have a great rest of your day. I will see you tomorrow. And episode 150, more awesome interviews coming. So, and we'll have it tomorrow. So I will see you tomorrow. And yes, as always, forks up.
Johnny Walker, matching up against control. His shot. Bruce Morley they score. They tie the game up 2-2.
Some drives out for Robbie Ryan. Her three right on the money. This is Taya Hansen for three. Other side of the rim with a pretty reverse.
Wow.